Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com.
And then that's Saturday night, and then we hit the suites, and then we are playing hard that night. It's everything's a green light that night.
Right.
So you're married couples that show up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's switches. You know, you've got your male bottoms, your male tops, and so on and so forth. But I'm gonna use it like me and Lady Dee. All right. So, do you see like somebody like me spanking other people? And like Lady Dee getting spanked from other people, or is there certain dynamics where they only show up and they only play with each other, or combination of both?
There could be some that just play with each other, but from my experience, most of the time they're playing with many different people.
Okay.
Now they might, they probably have their rules and their boundaries.
Right.
Perfect.
And that would be up to each individual couple. Even if they're not married, if they're in a dynamic,
Right.
people have their set boundaries, and that's communicated well, with them. But most of the people who are going to parties are playing with other people, switching and.
So is
like
the spanking? You said there's a couple of rooms that are open all the time that people can go into even during the day for that, so that you're. But what other stuff does the? Yep.
So there's usually on Fridays, they usually have educations, workshops, things like that for people to attend to. They will have a school event. A lot of people like to do a school role play, and those are big role plays that take a lot of time and effort of the organizers to do that.
Okay.
They will have a female event only. They will have female-male events. They will have male-male events. So to give everybody that space,
Right.
So that you're not uncomfortable, uncomfortable, but if I'm a female who only likes females, it's a little bit more difficult. I can't just walk in the room because it's a different type of dynamic or whatever. I mean, I could walk in the room, but this way, that everybody in there is another female who's going to top.
Yes.
And bottom.
Right. And then they also have a space for littles. They'll have a little time. There's usually it's usually toward the end of the party, like on a Saturday night, they have a middles event.
Middles?
A middles, which is like your high school, college age.
Bratty.
And that is so... It's one of my favorites. I do connect with middle space, and it's so much fun. I'll just usually it's a party, and we're drinking, probably drinking very lightly or pretending to drink.
Okay.
Because alcohol.
I was going to ask, with alcohol?
Alcohol
Policies?
is allowed at parties, but it's not.
You can't be stupid drunk.
Right.
You're not going to, people are going to not interact if you're going to be asked to.
Right. You're not going to be, there's not open really alcohol in the suites.
Right.
You could have had some drinks at dinner, whatever.
Right.
I mean, and there's always people that push that too far because it's our world. But,
yes.
The majority of people respect this boundary because we've talked about it. It was a recent episode where he left the dungeon. He left because he was drunk. We all walked in as a group, and he felt the alcohol, and he says, "This I cannot consent to, and I cannot listen to And so he left.
Yep. I chose to take myself out of the equation so nothing bad would happen.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the same.
What kind of education?
For the education classes, it'll be like 101 strapping. It'll be this last one they had a rope demonstration. Spankos. Some people enjoy rope and rope play. And then there was one on mouth soaping. That's a big punishment.
I had my mouth soaped when I was a kid, and that was not fun.
It's not fun.
It's not fun.
And I actually went to that one, and they did a phenomenal job on that. And so that's a big headspace for this people that have the punishment fetish, because that's another form.
And it falls into the discipline with the spanking and the stuff. So I used to get when I was very young, I sucked my thumb, and I sucked my thumb for longer than so she put Tabasco sauce on, and I love everything spicy. I hate Tabasco sauce now because of the flavor, but that would put it on before I went to bed at night, and I just sucked it off. It was fine. But I don't like the taste of it because of that. So those kind of punishments,
So bars of soap.
No bars of soap in my house.
I used to eat soap as a kid. So that was not.
That would
yeah. You could ask my parents, and they would say they would go in to wash their hands and find bite marks in the soap and knew that I had been in there.
We did crayons, right? Like that feeling of pressure. When I was little, I bit on crayons. The wax from a crayon.
So that's okay.
So that was
what was the class? Was it like how to take care of the soap?
It was different types of soap that's safe to use.
Right.
They're not all safe to use, because I sure as shit know my parents didn't care what kind of soap it was.
Because a lot of them have fragrances or other things. So, and even at our vendor fair, people will make special soaps for soaping. And it was talking about how to read your bottom that is being soaped, and different methods. Also, how to engage with spanking during soaping.
Right.
How to are you going to lather it and use the tongue, or are you going to do the teeth, or are you just going to have them hold it? They did really well on the whole demonstration, but that's one of them.
I'm interested in that.
We do.
No, we're not.
Sorry. I might have just opened up a new thing. Don't poke the bear too hard. Don't poke them too hard.
My punishments are getting worse.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I can feed you on that, because I am very much a punishment fetish. Running lines in corner time and all those things. We can talk later.
You probably need to leave our house immediately after.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Nope, she is staying for a while.
So, what other educations? There'll be negotiations, role plays, different role plays, how to do those. So, there's a lot of people that will just bring just a spin on it. There was one it was humiliation play, and not degradation. It was about humiliation, like making them hold their panties in their mouth, all this thing, different things like that of embarrassment.
Right.
And this is probably taking another spin. But all the bottoms, I have to say, might have been a little aroused during that. And on Sundays, we have this thing called court.
Okay.
And we have a judge, and people can bring court cases against each other. And it's fun. It's fun cases.
We need to have a club tempted theme night with court.
And I can show you the dockets at some point. And so a couple people brought the person that was teaching the embarrassment person to court, because they were like, our panties got wet during the class.
Oh my God, I love it.
And then for punishment, so then the judge, if they find that person guilty, then we have either a spanking bench or put over and then he will spank them in front of everybody at court.
That's awesome.
And it's so much fun, because you can bring up the silly, like you could bring up that I introduced Master Nick to other punishments. So you could take me to court. So those are kind of the fun things
gosh.
about
Sounds
our
like
community.
a lot of fun.
And he plays
Don't
the
forget
role
your hand,
so well.
Your hand can't take it, Master Nick.
And if a top or dominant wins their case, then they are given personal service time by the bottom. That they can, like he'll say, they get 10 minutes of personal service time that the bottom has to like pack their suitcase, give a massage, or whatever those two negotiate.
Right.
So the tops can win too. I was always the one that I lost every court case at every party. And it was like, I gotta win at some point. And so you asked for me to share a funny story, and this will also be about another event. And I actually won a court case. And I think everybody clapped. Like, it was like,
Kentucky Girl won!
She won. In fact, even the judge at one point, I started talking and he goes, "You are winning your case. Stop talking." Because you're going to lose if you stop talking.
Oh my God.
I talked about a schoolgirl event. There's another event called Detention. And so think of it as a Breakfast Club Saturday Detention, but it's serious. It's a little bit more, the schoolgirl event, there's a lot more brattiness going on. And this space is for people to have a little bit more serious and remember if they want their fantasy as a child or, in that detention setting. So we usually about 40 or 50 of us in detention. We're sitting at tables and you're given an assignment and that's negotiated. I like to write lines. So I was writing lines. I'm given a line.
You're given something you like versus something you don't like.
Right. Very,
Okay,
and we can talk about that. That's a very good point about liking and not liking. Other people will ask to just bring a book to read. Some people will do an English or math assignment. So we're all sitting at
like
desks,
a school situation, detention.
Yes. And during that detention, and this is all signed up for in the before detention, there's usually like 4 to 5 deans or headmasters, principals in another room. And they're female and male, so that females and females, or whoever you would like to punish you can sign up for.
Right.
And so your name is called during that detention, and then you're sent to that person and you're scolded and punished.
Is that done within the same room?
It's a room adjacent to it.
Can you hear it?
You can hear it. There's no, and when your name's called, you have to walk across the room. So everybody's looking at you like, what'd she do? What'd he do? And then you can hear it. But that is all pre-negotiated. And it's very short when you go into that room. And you're probably going to get, like, I usually on the school thing sign up for a paddle because that registers with me with school. And you usually get like 6 or 8. Because I've been going to the parties this much, I know all the people, but I'm just selected, whoever. And a lot of times I'm like, oh, I got you again. Great. Because, and they know me. So they're going to maybe play harder than with somebody else. So I'm usually in a lot of trouble when those happen.
And yet you sign up
but
for it.
I signed up for this. So, but during this detention, there can be a little bit of trouble going on, but the person in charge who is like walking around and, she'll say, if you're getting too bratty or too much, they're going to ask you to leave because they really want this headspace for this particular event.
Right.
They want you doing your work just like a Saturday detention. So it was toward one of those end of the Saturday detentions. And I will say that I was probably towing the line. And so I'd calmed myself down and I was really like concentrating on my lines. And all of a sudden, a person barges into detention and yells, "We have an Uber Eats for KentuckyGirl."
Oh, wow.
And I wanted to crawl under the desk.
Because you're totally in this
I'm in this. I was like, so, and immediately, but I found out later that this was a friend of mine, and she had gone to this person who was in charge of the event and said, I really want to do this. And she said, well, you need to pick somebody that you have consent with, or you need to pick somebody that can handle it. Well, she picked me because she knew I could handle it. But the head person knew. She said the way that my face was, she knew I had no idea. Because I was like, she'd already taken my phone, and I was like, you have my phone? Like, I didn't order this. Like, I just, and I was just like, I was like frozen. Oh my God. But it was so much fun.
Right.
Like, you want to do fun shenanigans that doesn't ruin other people's experiences. And it was toward the end, and
and it's a long day or a long session. Like everybody's been sitting doing what they're supposed to.
And so then of course I had to stay after detention because I had to get in trouble. And then I'm like, she's staying in here. Like, I'm not going down for this. And then I ended up taking her to court, and I won because I said it ruined my educational experience, and I got assigned more detention. I was able to make this whole thing up. So
you're killing me.
So a lot of our weekend is fun things just to play.
That sounds so if by chance, if me and Lady Dee wanted to attend one of these, is it open to, people who are not technically Spankos, but is interested in learning more and
being true to the whole interaction?
Absolutely.
We would be involved because I'm down.
I would love to, because this sounds like so much fun, and to meet more people and to learn more about this.
Plus, I wouldn't mind being spanked.
Yeah, you like being spanked.
So there's also like this Texas party in Dallas. It's called TASP. They're actually on Friday and Saturday nights because there's a lot of, Dallas is huge. So there is a lot of BDSM presence. In one of the ballrooms, they set up a dungeon. And so people that want to explore more or do other things.
And then that means it's a crossover because Spankos can come and explore those too. Oh, God. That's right up Master Nick's wheelhouse.
Yes, it is.
So no, we're not... we are not
exclusive. You're not excluding others because of their...
No. We're just usually in the places that are like the suites. It is just for spanking.
Right.
So I know we've gotten off on a lot of different subjects, but let's talk about in the BDSM world, usually spanking, people use the word impact play.
Yes.
And what does that look like different from being spanked at like a spanking?
So for us, for impact, it could be a numerous amount of implements. It could be floggers. It could be whips. It could be dragon tails. It could be, we've got some that's got gator tails, and all of that. Fluffinators. It's using some type of implement
to warm up.
Yep. To make impact with the body. There is hand spanking. There is paddles. There is canes. There is all of that stuff. It's just our toolbox has a few more implements in it versus just the hairbrushes, the wooden spoons, the paddles, that kind of thing.
And the objective, I think, is a little bit different too. It is not in and of itself for the spanking. We need the domination of whoever's using the implements on us. And I think that's kind of the dynamic versus the spanking isn't. And a lot of people get flogged and spanked and don't have orgasms. Like we're putting people up on the cross to experience it all the time, and they're not having orgasms. So they're enjoying just the implements.
Just the feel of it. And for us, I say us, for me and Lady Dee, and anytime I do it, I don't hit just the butt.
Right.
I like to take the floggers and flip it across your shoulders and let it fall down your back.
I do it along the legs.
Yeah, along the legs.
I also have soft furry stuff.
One of my most favorite implements is a yardstick, and I cut it to about 16 inches long. I like taking that yardstick and just tapping, starting way down at the ankle, up the calf, back of the leg, across the back, across the shoulders, just tapping, and then unsuspectingly smacking a butt cheek with it or something, and then continue the tapping. So ours tends to kind of go all over the body, depending on, some people really like it on their shoulders, on their back. Some people don't like it. So it all depends on where it's at. But We typically go front side, back side, up and down, full body with our stuff.
So now tell us yours.
So, and we do some of that. Our spankings, because that is the entree, and when we're really just engaging in spanking, it is a lot that I kind of see pictures on FetLife, and you can kind of see, if you look at my pictures or Spankos pictures, they're a little different. Ours are a lot about symmetry, and constantly rhythm on the bottom.
On the bottom,
on
one
the bottom.
spot, like your,
I mean,
varying. But
it's like painting a canvas, but it's just on the bottom, and it's like if you do 3 on one side, you're going to do 3 on the next side, and it's continuously, and it's building, and it's changing implements, but it's a lot of just the bottom or the top of the thighs,
right?
Top of the thighs on the back,
like
side.
Yes,
yeah, top of the thighs.
So I feel like it just feels a little different when I'm playing with somebody that is more like an impact player, than a
because
spanking.
we vary we vary it all the time. We're
One
not just escalating it.
And then one of the things that we talk about is for impact is, don't continuously hit the same spot, because for
it starts hurting
for a submissive or for somebody that's not into spanking, it becomes a lot, and then they soon call safe word and they're done. So therefore we try to say, whenever you're using an implement, try to avoid the same area you just hit.
Now I will say that we call that SDS, same damn spot. And there will be a time that sometimes they'll hit the exact same spot.
Right.
Too many.
And and I'm just like, that little stubbornness, and
I'm going to
usually,
take it.
or the stubbornness of get off that spot, like, and I'll try to move around a little, or try to control it as much as I can, and that doesn't always and that's the control that's
SDS.
Yeah, remember that. You can yell that. I'm like, SDS, stop.
That's going to be perfect for the dungeon. SDS.
Yes.
It's a good thing I have a bad memory. I'll probably forget what that means.
You'll be like, what? What safe word is that?
Oh, I've never heard that. Must be a song she's listening to.
Yeah. So, but we're still on usually the bottom and the top of the thighs.
Right.
But I will tell you, we use massage tables a lot at spanking parties, and when we use those, we do a lot of play will be covering from the top to the bottom with different sensation play.
Right.
But the majority of it still is going to end up.
It's harder, I believe, in my world, that when I'm laying on a bench or table, massage table, when I get hit with stuff, there's no give. There's nowhere for me to move. So when you're on the cross, or you're on even a spanking bench, even if you're restricted, you can still slide that butt a little bit. So it seems to me that would be maybe a little bit more painful.
Yes and no. It's easy for them to come down with a strap really hard, but your skin is not as pulled as tight. If you're bent over a spanking bench, your skin is tighter,
right?
And so, especially with wood, it's going to sting more.
That makes sense.
So, and canings, a lot of times we're on a massage table for canings.
Do you like caning?
I do. And if you had asked me that 10 years ago, I would have said, there's no way I would ever want that. And it's probably one of my favorites.
That's what I was fixing to ask.
Do you bleed ever from the caning?
I have. That is not my goal, or usually people that I play with, that's goal. But occasionally it's opened up just a little bit. But I love the feel. I'm not a totally stingy person. And the cane is stingy, but it also has that thud and how it blossoms after it hits. So I really do love canings. But by the end of a party, a lot of times when the canes come out, our butts are already swollen. That it doesn't mark as well. And that's another thing we haven't talked about. We love our bruises.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, you're coming into town definitely looks different than you're going out of town in terms of your ass.
But Spankos develop a huge tolerance.
Yep.
And it's really hard to mark. I'm sure.
We have friends that are masochists that after a while, it creates a thicker skin, basically.
And I can still be like this last one. Honestly, I did not really play that intense this last party. Not to say that there was at some points, but just overall in general. And I came home and I was sore, but I didn't have any marks. And I thought I would, sad? And I was really sad. I was really sad because I didn't have anything to look at. We also get what's called usually about 4 or 5 days after a party, our butt becomes really itchy. So it's healing, even though there's not
true marks on it.
True marks.
Right. Because you still got skin cell damage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you like everything to do with spanking. Is there something within? I mean, it's your sexual identity. Mm-hmm. Is there something within spanking that you don't like at all?
I don't know if I've ever been asked that question.
That was a
good question.
Is there something that you don't like in it?
No. I mean, I can tell you which implements I don't really. But do
you want to say that out loud? Will somebody?
No. They already know. They already know.
So, what is your least favorite implement?
The hairbrush.
You don't like the hairbrush.
Don't like the hairbrush.
And what makes the hairbrush different than a paddle?
It is because you're usually OTK, over the knee. They can pin you down, and if they do rapid fire, and they don't have to swing hard, and they can go a lot longer than your butt can hold out. And it just stings, and it just hurts.
Right.
Okay. But so people know when they want my attention, they'll grab the hairbrush. Now I can do fun with a hairbrush, but if I'm in real trouble and that hairbrush comes out,
do they use the other side, or is that not
just for fun? They'll use it for sensation or that. They're like, oh, you like that side, don't you? Yeah, but the other side's coming.
I'm curious to know what hairbrushes they use because.
Oh, I should have brought mine.
As a dom, I use various things, and I hit myself with it before I'll hit anybody else. And I do remember, which I know there's a number of different type of brushes. But I do know I've picked up several hairbrushes and just kind of smacked my thigh with it. And some of them are just kind of like a thud. They don't really sting. It's just heavy and a thud versus a wooden paddle.
I have one upstairs that I think would be.
Right. So that's what my mind is going crazy.
Mm-hmm. See?
Yeah.
My mind is going crazy right now to think how is a brush worse than a paddle?
Oh,
but you're saying it is. So
for me, yes.
You're the expert here. I'm going to take your advice.
That is one of those things. That's every Spanko has their things. My punishment, and if I'm in a DD relationship, the belt is what I connect to the most.
Right.
That is my authority. The belt.
Have you ever been hit with like a switch, where they go grab that, get your own piece of.
I am probably, if any Spanko is listening to this, they will not believe I will say this. I love switchings.
Oh wow! Really?
Now, I mean, they hurt.
Well, it's like a cane too, though, isn't it?
It's like a cane. It is, and it's interesting. I don't like this, like the stinginess of a hairbrush or a spoon. The sting of a switch is like little bee stings, and when you're in that position that you're getting a switching, you kind of do this little dance. It's like this little, I call it the switch dance, and I do love that feeling of the switch.
Nice. Okay. You just reminded me, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast. I might have. One of my very first experiences as a top dominant. I was in a relationship with a guy that was pretty big, buff dude. I always went for, even if they were not if we were working within the vanilla world, I always picked guys that were taller, bigger, stronger because it made me feel smaller, littler. And I was dating a guy who was 220 pounds, and he was a submissive, but I didn't know this. So I don't have sex right away with somebody. So we were getting to know each other. We finally reached the stage where we have sex. And the very next week, he said, "Can I hit him with a wooden spoon?" I said, "Okay, I'll try this." I mean, so I did. And I broke a wooden spoon on his ass. And because he was like, I need it harder. And then he continued, it escalated. It wasn't just that. He wanted to sit at my feet, eat off my feet, like do these different things. And for me, it was really rough because I'm the submissive and I can switch it up in a scene or for a very short period of time, but it's very hard. And I remember hitting him so hard with that spoon, his butt was glowing. Like, I would never hit any of my submissive friends that I currently play with, any bottom that I've played with. I would never do that, but I hit him so hard and he wanted the more, and I finally broke a wooden spoon over his ass.
What have you
Then we have a moment of silence when we break an implement.
What all has been broken on your ass? Have you had anything broken on your ass?
Yes. Yes, I have. Actually, and there's a picture on FET because it was in the last year. And it was when it was at a middles party. And that's when we usually have like a party and we're
being bratty,
and teenage. All of a sudden the parents and the aunts and uncles, everybody comes home. Imagine that. And then we all like just try to disperse and we all end up getting spanked. And I broke I broke a paddle and he was like, "I've had this for so long." And I was like, "I'm so sorry." And then I was like, "I didn't hit myself with it." And then of course that,
caused more. I didn't hit myself with it.
Yeah. So I know I've broken that one and probably some other ones. Usually the makeshift ones that aren't made for Spankos.
Right.
Another big thing that Spankos like to do, especially like if we go to house parties, we love to go antique shopping because, and we all, who can find the best implement at an antique shop? And I have a small, and it was actually labeled as a butter beater. Butter beater. And it's and it's little and it actually can beat a butt.
Wow.
More than butter.
I need a butter beater.
You need a butter beater.
Say that 5 times straight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
she was very cautious about the way she said it the very first time.
Yes, because
butter beater.
But so that's kind of fun activities that Spankos like to enjoy and find. Things.
Well, you brought us a wonderful gift of some ginormous.
Yes,
but those are not.
I mean, if you're looking at
yes,
ginormous here,
you all invited me. I needed to bring a little gift.
They're beautiful, and I looked at them. I said, "Ooh," and then I said, "No."
So these have the jewels on them.
Oh yes, they're very pretty.
One purple, one blue. And they are rather large.
Yes, that's why I gifted them.
Kentucky Girl did make it very clear. No, she does. She has not wore these. These have not been used, and she is willing to give them away because she don't ever plan on using them. Yes. And of course, the first thing Lady Dee said was, "Well, we got to get rid of them too."
Time to go.
That's why I said you need to use it as a prize for someone.
So my question is, have you been spanked with a butt plug-in?
So that brings up a lot of questions about Spankos and anal punishments or anal play. This, from what I gather from talking to Spankos, anal play does seem to exist in the Spanko community. And I think it does relate to that for some reason, the bottom and the butt is our sexual
Got it.
are
I'm thinking naughty. Like
yes.
it's the
So
schoolgirl kind of thing, the
mhm.
naughty that's an off-limit space.
I think it's more of our
butt.
our butt is our sex.
Right.
But and so but most of us relate it to punishment, not as much as pleasure.
Okay.
Obviously it can go to the pleasure. So Spankos will use it a lot, like, and use it for the embarrassment. Like you're gonna wear this plug. You're gonna wear it to the dinner tonight, and nobody else knowing that you have a plug in.
Right.
It also it goes along with figging.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I've
So
never had that done, but I've had a friend.
mhm.
friend.
So that's usually
Take a note
a
here.
yes,
Figging.
figging.
No, that is not.
Well,
Yes.
It's not a note.
I've got to research that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, figging is a form of definitely a punishment for
because
Spankos.
it's ginger,
Mm-hmm.
and you're scraping off the ginger, and it burned like you peel the outside because the ginger burns.
Mhm.
And that right
So-
up there.
So,
no, thank you. Have you been?
So I will go down the rabbit hole. Since we're going down this rabbit hole, I'll go down. So again, a lot of us had the punishment fetish along. So, figging is definitely a punishment, and I have been figged.
Say it. She said it with a smile. Did you see that?
Because what we have found out is I actually like the figging because it is a natural warming. Now, sometimes you're going to get one that's really hot and really on fire, but for the most part, I actually enjoy that. Some tops will use capsaicin cream or toothpaste, and just to put on the butthole as punishment. I honestly think that hurts worse and gets more of my attention than figging. Butt plugs for me, though, are definitely embarrassment and humiliation and punishment for me. So if I have to do that, then that is. So I don't put it to the sexual part.
Right. I'm curious because here's the thing. Some of the things that you've said have kind of triggered me in a good way, not a bad way. Like I haven't gone, oh no. But you talk about humiliation and punishments in regards to we use humiliation. And it's not like degradation. It's not like it's a more private, personal type of it. I like that. It's not something we do. I'm always a good girl. Like I'm always a good girl. If I miss something, it's 9 times out of 10. No, let's say 19 out of 20. It's a mistake. I just forgot because it's busy and it's life. And he doesn't punish me for those kind of things. And I don't look for punishments very often. But I hear the things you're saying and it's a turn on. So I'm like, maybe.
Maybe. Right. And that, the whole punishment thing is really hard because I crave it, but I don't want to be, I'm not typically a bad person,
Right.
So that's hard to get.
You want the punishment for the attention, but you're not the type to do something wrong to get the punishment.
Yeah. And then it crosses the line with tops and dominance about becoming disrespectful.
Right.
But I need, so that's why punishments come into play a lot in our community.
Absolutely.
And
also the events where you can
act out
and it's expected. And now you're going to get a punishment, but you didn't actually do something wrong.
Right.
So that's why I said it's really resonating with me because that truly, I mean, it's like I was with somebody who got into degradation and it was kind of like if you call me an F&B one more time via text, you're going to find out what an F&B I can be. Like I'm not good with
for
that
those
kind
listening at home, that's fucking bitch.
Yeah. and degradation play speaks to a lot of people. And and there could be some in our community that, do that. And humiliation, embarrassment, some people don't like those types too.
Exactly.
and that, I guess that's what, and part of like your podcast and the Spanko community is just understanding how our human brain works and relationships and connections that I think so many people are missing because they're afraid of it or or think it's shameful or all the things.
Right.
And to be able to talk about it and respect everybody's where their mind at and where their connections are.
Right. Well, I've got to say this, we're going to have you back.
Right.
I know we've talked a long time and I feel like there's so much more.
There is way much more to discuss, to get into, to find out more. Again, this is totally new for me. And it is, I am very interested. I am very excited sitting here talking about this, but this will be our second episode.
Right.
That is released. And I feel like we've just barely scraped the surface. I feel like we've just barely scraped the surface. So
we're definitely going to be scheduling.
Okay.
Yes. I hate to end it.
No, I know.
I hate for it to be done. But yeah, we're going to have,
we're already going to be in 2-part episode for sure. So,
okay, wow.
For those of you listening, Kentucky Girl will be back. We will make this happen again. We definitely want to get her more information from her and learn more from her. We're actually going to start researching the Spankos. Hopefully we run into you at an event because we are definitely interested. But I do want to say thank you so much for coming on our show, for talking about your sexual identity, to hopefully opening the door to many others that may have wondered about this. And, is there people like
amazing.
Yes.
Like I really resonate with a lot of what you're talking about. And I wish that there were a larger community out here for you.
Yes. And we say it almost every episode, everybody has a kink, and a lot of people don't know what that kink is. A lot of people think they're screwed up in the head. A lot of people feel like they are a loner. They don't belong. They don't fit in. But hopefully talking about this kind of stuff, we can find more people like you that really enjoy the spanking and want to find find their community.
Yeah.
And we talk community a lot. Find your community. And it took you a little while to find what you liked in your community and so on and so forth. But again, thank you so much. Can't wait to have you back again.
I'm already planning it. We got to have you back.
Well, thank you all. And, I think things sometimes are meant to be. And I did place myself strategically.
Right.
The night that I met you on purpose. And I was so glad that you asked me to be a part of that demo and to start this conversation because, I was very isolated growing up. And I was very isolated in my early adulthood. And now, I can't get rid of it. So you need to embrace it. And I have learned so much about accepting so many kinks and opening my eyes to so many things that the community has brought and FetLife has brought. And you all having me on this podcast just even reinforces that much. So I really appreciate it.
All right. Stick around. We still got plenty more to come. Drop us a comment. Tell us what your most interesting part of these episodes were, especially with the Spankos. Let us know if you have any questions. Till next time. Thank you all.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.